are fighting fancy pets. Thank you for bearing with us and for travelling so far, some of you, such as Australia, New Zealand, Canada, Japan, that I'm aware of, America, Spain, France. I mean, it really is an international community, so you're all very welcome and thank you for coming. Even deepest, darkest Devon, I think, some people travel from. They found their way here somehow. Just a couple of things before we get underway. My name's Jonathan Green. If you have any problems, it's my fault, so come and have a go at me about it. But there are some wonderful people who are helping me out today. You'll recognise them because they're wearing their Trial Master t-shirts. So those people will either be able to help you or be able to point you in the direction of help, which is probably me again. And just if there's an fire alarm, you can see fire exits and follow instructions, but basically get out. Save yourselves. Last night we started events as we always. This year we were raising money in memory of Russ Nicholson, legendary artist who sadly passed away last year. So we were sponsoring two charities that his widow suggested, and that was Smile Train and Sight Savers. So the money will be split between the two of them. And an incredible amount. I tossed it up last night. We raised over £1,000. Right. Just think there's anything else I need to tell you that's urgent right now. I don't think so. So we will get underway with our first talk of the day, our first presentation. It's a very special event. Some of you may remember Steve Jackson's very expensive telephone game in the past, F.I.S.T, and it's now been brought back by the most metal games development team in the world. These guys are literally on the Encyclopedia Metallica. They play. I remember I met Oscar at one event, and he'd come because his gig in Mexico had been cancelled. That's how metal they are. So I'd like to introduce Oscar and Gustav. I'm going to introduce you to the official launch of Steve Jackson's F.I.S.T.
Thank you, Jonathan.
Hello, everyone.
Right, I'm Oscar Colquist, and this is Gustav Sundin, and we are the founders of a platform called Sound Realms, and it's a platform for iOS and Android for audio-based solo RPG games. So right now we have licenses with...
we are working with Steve Jackson for F.I.S.T. We're working with Jonathan Green, Ace Game Books, and Chaosium Inc. for Cthulhu, Home Guard Press for Lone Wolf.
Yeah, and so there's a lot of stuff going on in the pipeline, so you can expect a lot of games in the future.
Yes, and today we're here, of course, it's the launch day of the new version of F.I.S.T, Steve Jackson's old game that originally came out in 1988, and probably back then we called in on a landline phone and played the game through your phone, and probably no one has basically even heard these recordings in over 30 years, but we have brought them back from the original reel-to-reel master tapes and put it in our platform, which you can find as an app on Android and iOS. And very excited to bring it back to try to make it as close as the original as possible to get the authentic experience, except the phone bill. And today is the launch day for F.I.S.T, so I'm super excited about that.
So we would figure like this: we're gonna play the game, and when the choices are announced, then you'll hear the choices, and then we'll repeat the number of the choices, and then the more you shout, the louder battle cries we hear from you. That's the choice we're gonna choose, and then we proceed with the adventure.
We'll play for a bit, beginning of the adventure, and if you wanna try more, you can come by our booth. It's right there as well, and of course buy the game as well. Shall we get started?
Let's get started.
to an alternative reality. And you are being
It's late evening when you ride into the small village of Beckbridge. The villagers are preparing for the night. You've travelled far today and the long journey has left you parched. There's nothing you want more than a mug of best ale to lubricate your dry throat. Ahead, you can see a well-lit building in the centre of the village, and a sign above the doorway reads, "The Black Claw Tavern." Do you wish to enter the Black Claw Tavern? If so, dial 1. If you would rather just find a room for the night, dial 2. If you want to find the office of the Adventurers Guild, dial 3. Remember that any time during your adventure, you may have the choices repeated to you by dialing O.
So I can tell you right now, the Adventurers Guild is a future update, so we're going to stick to number 1 or number 2. So number 1. Number 2. Number 1 it is.
You tie your horse to a nearby hardnut tree and step inside the Black Claw Tavern.
Who's this? What does he want? Another one for Castle Manor, I expect.
All eyes are fixed on you as you step over to the bar and order a mug of ale.
Greetings, young sir. On your way to the castle? I thought so. Plenty of them been through here just recently. Here you go. Enjoy your ale. And may the gods of luck shine on you. You'll need it.
The barman hands you your ale and you take a seat next to 2 stout men. Although they're not particularly talkative, you learn a little of the Demon Prince from snippets of their conversation.
He is Lord of the Spirits. He appears as a phantom and sucks the souls of his victims. As the head of a serpent from the body of a hell demon. Many dead seeking out in his castle, fear of return. He tempts his victims with untold riches.
As the evening wears on, you mingle with the others in the tavern and explain your plan to ride next day to Mammon Castle. The villagers try to warn you against such a foolhardy mission, but you have none of it. When you ask how to get to the ruined castle, you receive different advice from different people.
Ride into the morning sun until you reach a brook which runs down from the hills. Follow this brook upstream and it'll lead you to the ruins. Head northward you to Spindlewood Forest. On the far side of the forest, you'll see the outline of Castle Mammon in the hills to the east. If you seek the ruins, take the trail northeastwards across the cornfields. It'll lead you there directly. Before you arrive, find first the grey-haired hag of the hills. She knows something of the dangers in F.I.S.T. And be sure to keep a map of your route, for without a map, you will become hopelessly lost in Cadisra's underworld.
After a good night's rest and a hearty breakfast, you saddle up and head off on your journey. Which way will you go? To head into the rising sun, dial 1. To ride northward into Spindlewood Forest, dial 2. To follow the trail across the fields, dial 3.
Okay, we go with number 1. Number 2. Hooray! Number 3. Hooray! Number 3 it is.
You ride out across the fields and up into the hills. The trail runs past a small wooden hut. Wisps of smoke are curling out of the stovepipe chimney. If you knock at the door of the hut, dial 1. If you creep round the hut and look in through a window, dial 2. If you climb up on the roof, block off the chimney and smoke out whoever is inside, dial 3. If you ignore the hut and continue along the trail, dial 4.
So number 1. Number 2. Number 3. Or number 4. Number 3 it is.
You climb quietly up onto the roof with a handful of leaves and grasses and stuff them into the chimney stack. Finally, the door opens.
What is happening? Who's that on my roof? A stranger forcing me from my home. A curse on you. Halam, salam, bim. The curse of Shira be on your head. Now, be gone.
You feel no different. Cursed. Or were these simply the rantings of an angry old woman? Dial 1 if you want to know more about curses. Or 2 to continue.
So number 1. Or number 2. Number 1 it is.
Curses and poisons have delayed effects in F.I.S.T. So you'll have to wait to find out what the effects, if any, are. If there are any effects, you will be told sometime in the future. Or you could play safe and try to find someone who can lift curses. Now back to the adventure.
The trail winds on from the hut up into the hills. It is mid-afternoon before you finally catch your first glimpse of Castle Mammon. Sitting on top of a distant hill, like the long dead skeleton of a huge creature, its jagged spires reach desperately up to the sky, as if pleading for mercy. You set off towards it with grim resolve. Nightfall is approaching rapidly as you reach the deserted castle. The main entrance gate is unattended and ajar, creaking in the wind. Storm clouds are gathering on the horizon, but you have reached your destination after a full day's ride, and now is not the time for turning back. You dismount from your horse and enter through the castle gate. Inside is an empty courtyard. The gate has slammed shut behind you and is firmly locked.
Who is this? Who dares enter the domain of Caddis Ra? Human. You would pit your meager strength against the forces of darkness. Savor these moments, miserable mortal, for they will be your last on earth.
The courtyard gives no clue as to the source of the disembodied voice. From the far side of the courtyard, a horse is charging towards you. You recognize it as your own horse, which you left tied up outside the castle. A black-cloaked figure stands in the saddle, whipping your horse into a frenzy with its sword. Blood is dripping from its haunches. As it gets closer, you can see the figure more clearly. The billowing cloak obscures its body, but the hood falls from its head to reveal nothing. You must draw your sword quickly to battle the Headless Horseman.
Okay, so the battles in Fists work like this. You choose a number from your dial, that's a number between 1 and 0, and every round you have a hit, a death blow, a miss, or you're hit by the monster. So every round the numbers are going to change, which causes hits, misses, and death blows, etc. So So now I need you to choose a champion to come up here and do the battle for us.
Who will play sword?
Here is our champion.
Great. So now you can play it a bit slowly. So now you just choose any number there and press it. 6. That was a hit.
That was a hit.
Sound effect as well. You get visual indication on the screen. Another hit.
Go again.
Miss.
It's a miss.
Another miss.
You won the battle.
Just keep aside to see who or what has attacked you. To your astonishment, you find there is nobody.
Help! Oh, please! Help! No! Ah!
You spin round in the direction of the cries. Across the courtyard, a hole has opened up in the ground. A beautiful dark-haired woman wearing a tattered white dress is trying to escape from the hole. She's fighting off something below, which has hold of her leg. Quickly, down here,
I think we're going to end here.
before the can attack is released.
Thank you very much. And if you want to try some more, you can just come see us. We're all the way down in the hall over here, down by the wall. And thank you very much for attending. And we hope to see you back in the hall later. Thank you.